button, because no button is bad. And it begins. And I believe we will pick up right where we left off.
With a phone call.
With a phone call. So, Dr. Cornwallis.
Yes.
You find yourself, as previously stated, in someone's, at least in your opinion, rather well-appointed dining room. Although I don't know what kind of expertise you have in the field of home decor.
Not so much.
All right.
I might be taking night classes with Miss Featherstone.
Well, we'll simulate that some other time. Yes, got a rather large table here, clearly designed to hold multiple people. However, it holds one, and Cornwallis will invent a breakfast cereal, and it will be magnificent. Yes. So, gray-eyed man looks a bit perplexed with your appearance here.
I believe I asked him where I was for scientific reasons. I don't know. If I didn't, I was thinking it, and I would like to ask that now.
I think you asked him. Yeah, I think you asked him where were you? Saying, so that kind of looks around. Well, you're in my dining room, good sir. Interrupting my breakfast.
Well, yes, of course, but am I still in London? Wait a minute, are we based in London, right?
Yeah,
okay,
we're based in London. Kind of like, kind of stands up, kind of looks behind you. Kind of the rope is kind of appearing behind you there. Right. Yeah. Still in London.
Did you happen to have two constables come through here earlier?
Wow. Or John Malkovich.
Malkovich. Well, I've had a lot of people come through. Not necessarily through a portal in my dining room. Not you open that anyway.
Huh. Must be appearing at different locations. Oh,
no.
Well, it's a highly technical process. I'm sure you probably wouldn't understand.
He looks very insulted and kind of walks up to you, unless you stop him or move back or something like that, and is clearly checking out your equipment.
You want no sharing a wealth of information. Yeah. Well, yes, it's something of my own creation. I was able to analyze the residue energy signatures, and from there I just basically just ring the doorbell.
How you talk to random strangers about how you do your magic.
Oh, I see now.
He may not be your friend.
Yeah, his features kind of hardened a bit.
Cornwallis is everyone's friend.
Yes.
Hey, it's sharing of information. That
in the way that silly puppies will walk up to just any human.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
You wouldn't be behind the murders, would you? The strange transformations into the monstrous creatures?
Well,
The asylum there.
I know.
interesting.
Let me just divulge all the information I know about it so far.
So,
I'm trying to find my notes on the tonic.
Dr. Cornwell suffers from no inner monologue.
Exactly, he does not.
So yeah, he's kind of like,
No
Horrible
filter.
case of no inner monologue.
I thought interesting. So, he continues to kind of probe around. Like, I see now. So you built a rig to study what? Energy fluctuations, space-time disturbances.
Yeah, essentially.
Trying to figure out the shielding in the carriage kept the energy from dissipating, and your shielding, you kind of the ping as he kind of does one of those kind of finger flicks on the side of your equipment, and your shielding bled through and managed to activate it. But traveling unshielded like that, no wonder your time shifted.
Time shifted. Are you trying to explain that I traveled through time? Huh. What year is this? Or well, no, you wouldn't jump to that far. What month is this?
Well, it's October 1880. We started off in July of 1880.
Okay. And remind me what year we're playing in?
1880. We started off in July 1880.
Okay, so just July to
We
October.
arrived in October 1880.
Okay.
Most people have come from the future and go to the past to try and stop something. Interesting that you kind of flipped it around a bit.
Fascinating. I wonder if there's any news if we solve the murders. That would be interesting. Just to pull up the news, save a few steps. I mean, for when I return, obviously.
That's against the Temple Prime directive.
Right.
Oh, you have no idea.
Well, no, that's why I'm asking, good man. I guess, what is your role in all this? You obviously know about this technology.
Well, I know a lot of things. He kind of steps back so he can kind of steps back so he can clearly do something with a flourish here. It's like, I'm the new ruler of England, of the British Empire.
Really? So you're the prime minister now? Wait, did I prime minister at that point? Probably not.
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I did, okay. Well, I guess it's a good thing. I'm pleased to meet a political figure.
Oh my God, you are. And I thought Torchwood was supposed to be the best and brightest, but if you're the best they've got to offer, no wonder. Well, you weren't there for it since you decided to come here, but.
And that would explain it. Yes. They do have trouble functioning without me there.
So, about this time, there's kind of the sound of a disturbance behind you, and Lieutenant, you emerge from your trek through nothing to find yourself in similar scene to what I have described. Cornwallis is having a conversation with a strange man with dark hair and gray eyes, kind of a blocky face. You're a bit more aware of things, being officer and gentleman and whatnot. The dining room that you arrived in is not in the best of repair. There's some.
More samples.
Yes, now we have completed cookies, so you can all be jealous. I have cookies and you don't. And they are currently fresh, so if you want to drive to my kitchen and have some, you are more than welcome to.
Now you're just being mean.
Yeah, so as I was saying, the dining room is one of those things that someone that doesn't have as much money as they would like have clearly tried to make it look nice, kind of a thing. Also, at the same time, it seems to be crammed, seems to be kind of peppered with a number of rather famous artworks that last you checked were in museums. They were not in this person's dining room.
Ah, Lieutenant Fogwood, may I introduce you here to the new ruler of England. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't catch the name.
I didn't give it. But so he kind of looks up and was like, "Oh."
I think he is behind some of the events that we're investigating.
Some really.
Well, I didn't want to presume.
You kind of like Lieutenant Fogwood or Fogwell. I can never keep it straight. Which one is it?
Did I get it wrong? I said Fogwood.
It's Fogwood, my good man.
That was me in character making fun of me as the GM not being able to keep track of the character's name. I'm not responsible for some. I'm responsible for all. Everything you see here is me and my victory, and now you people are here. I thought I got rid of all you Torchwood types, but as I can clearly see, I've been lied to.
Are you Mr. Lewiston?
Mr. Lewiston? Why would...
Okay.
I presume.
Her name is George Chestnut. Get it straight.
Well, Mr. Chestnut, how did you come to be ruler of England?
Well, when you're as powerful as I am, there's no one really to stand in your way now, is there?
Powerful, you say? How come I've never heard of you before?
Because when you come from, I haven't unfurled my plan yet, apparently. Or it's still coming. I would imagine if you are from when I think that you are.
Where are we at now?
We're in October.
Wait, it's July.
No,
Not here.
It was. Your friend's device may have reopened the portal, but traveling in the way that you do, there is going to be a bit of a time shift. Shame you're too late to stop what's coming, but I can't have you guys meddling in my affairs. So I'm just going to have to have you both killed. Nothing personal. Well, a little personal. Anyway.
I pull out my rifle. No.
Good man. Yes. I see. Then we have the upper hand. I totally know we don't.
It's like this.
Okay. Kind of hold his hands up. Yep. You got me, clearly. Yeah.
You're not the rightful ruler of England. You're not a proper royal.
Would you sure? I can bring the queen out here if you'd like.
The queen? Why do you have the queen in this hovel?
Not a hovel. This is my home. Look, if you're going to be insulting, fine.
Clearly, this isn't a proper place to have a queen. I mean, look at the furniture.
I did think it looked a little old. Okay.
So he kind of yells out, "Queen, would you be a dear and come in here, please?"
Hello.
So you kind of hear, yeah. She comes in and talks about how she's not amused, and everyone is amused. Everyone is happy. There is a kind of a loud thudding noise coming from behind the door behind behind Mr. Chestnut here in front of you. It seems to be getting closer in a very big hurry.
That doesn't sound like the queen.
Just kind of laughs at you.
Well,
Wallace, can you create that portal?
Yeah, I'm kind of working on my little device here to try to reopen the thing.
Well, better.
So that sounds like we're going to have a roll here or something, right?
I would think so.
Okay, so give me, this is going to be ingenuity, science, sure, astrophysics. No, this is going to be gadgetry. And I'm sure your technically adept can come into play here. So.
Oh, okay, and that one adds a +2, right? Adept.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 14 plus the roll. I'm gonna go ahead and spend a story point because I get a feeling that this is kind of vital right now. Escaping. I don't know why, but I'm getting that sense. Holy crap! Whoa, my dice exploded. 14 plus 20, 34.
Holy!
I rolled 2 6s and 2 4s.
Okay. So Lieutenant Fogwood implores you that faster would be better, and right about that time, you get your device to light back up, and you push some buttons and kind of recreate, especially based on all the data that you acquired, the same effect that you saw. And there's the 34 and all the data that you had to coming down there. It's even more stable than it was before. Before it was you had to like crawl and fall through nothing. It actually kind of erupts in the kind of swirling blueness that you saw, Lieutenant. There just kind of erupts in this room, from the corner there where there was once nothing.
This is kind of post-roll, so I don't know if this would work, but can I try to compensate for the time shift and maybe push it back to July?
With the 34, sure. I think you could probably do that pretty well there.
Okay.
So yeah, this kind of blue swirling thing just kind of appears.
Okay, let's go.
I jumped through.
I do too.
Yeah, as you guys are about to jump through, the door that the loud thudding noise is coming from just kind of smashes off of its hinges, and one of the creatures that you guys are rather familiar with comes kind of charging into the room. With these things, it's hard to tell facial features and whatnot, but given the remains of the outfit and the crown jewels kind of weirdly adhered to the head, it very well could be the queen.
Oh boy.
And
Others still gonna love this.
you guys jump through the bright blue flashing swirling thing there as Chestnut is yelling, "No, stop them! They can't get away!" The way that villains do.
He twirled his mustache too.
Exactly.
It was nice meeting you.
No, it wasn't.
That is a lie. That is totally a lie. So we cut from there as they go flying into the great blue yonder, or the wild blue yonder, I suppose, would be the way of putting it. We cut to Torchwood headquarters, where Dr. Hale, you are monitoring this. You're monitoring your scientific experiment there. The rodent is growing faster and seems to have exceeded the size that the previous rodents you tested the first version of the serum on. You're pretty confident that it's a very well conducted stage by Cornwallis, so you don't think there's any any potential for it to like break out or anything at this point. But it is kind of is rather
alarming.
Alarming, yes, I suppose would be most people would find alarming. You can react to it however you want to, of course, but most people would find it alarming how rapidly this transformation is occurring. And let us see here.
Check my notes.
Now, the coroner earlier, he had some of the tonic that we had bought, correct?
Yes.
It didn't affect him at all.
No, drinking the tonic didn't. He was, he felt better afterwards, but it did not transform him into anything.
I'm going to take another sample of his blood.
Ow. Stop doing that.
I'm going to add the serum to it.
All right. So give me, it's going to be ingenuity, science. You can add the bonus for your biochemical genius there.
Yeah, you always roll 2 dice. I can add it to those.
5. 9. 13.
Well, that's not a bad roll. Oops, I launched the wrong thing. No, I don't need to go into the app store. Thank you, computer. It's not what I wanted.
Yes, you do.
So, no, I'm trying to go to the button that lets me switch window panes here. But... All right. Where is? There it is. All right. That's a little bit over normal difficulty. All right, so you take a sample of his blood, and you add, the fully formed monster serum to it, and of course, he's had. At this point, he's had you find a lot of other things in there, but he's had some of the tonic, but he's also had some of the the antidote that you came up with, at least to to try and counter the first versions of the serum there. So there's kind of there's some other factors at work inside of his blood, but much like in the rodent. When introduced, the serum interacts with the elements that are there from the tonic, and recombines into more monster serum. It's almost like you've got it's like two parts of an equation, like agent and reagent essentially. It's like you've got these elements of the monster serum in the tonic. When exposed to the other half of the monster serum, they just kind of spontaneously come together and become transformative.
All right. Actually, I'm going to take another rat and inject a little bit of that new combination into some food, just a teeny tiny bit, and feed it to the rat. We're going to continue that experiment for a couple of days and see what happens with that.
All right. So that that scientific experiment is getting getting started. Why don't you give me a... There's the character sheet. Yeah, this is just going to be awareness and ingenuity.
$15.
So you're getting that situated, and you hear from somewhere else in the building, rather loud thud. Kind of the sound of things breaking. Sounds like it's coming from in the labs or downstairs. Some of it's kind of coming from upstairs somewhere.
Well, let's put that right away and let's go find out what the hell happened.
You come upstairs, and the servants who are ever present and whatnot, and Jess Oswald, the witness that you guys are currently harboring, have kind of been rousted by this. Is the servants had some downtime here with everyone else, including Mrs. Featherston, out of the building. So not to be necessarily slacking from their duties, but they may have been enjoying some quiet time in the way that they do. And so you kind of a bit of a party there as you kind of come to the front room, the parlor sitting room where you guys have your staff meetings and whatnot. Especially that 15 is a pretty good one there, and it's not like this is a terribly stealthy thing. You hear something in there, breathing, kind of heavily, sniffing.
Of course, there's no other. Nobody with a gun, I should say. Going to just take a quick peek around the corner.
You take a quick peek around the corner and find that the loud thud was something kind of crashing through part of the window and part of the wall. It is clearly a creature. Looks like it's well north of 6 feet tall. It is now standing in your front room, kind of sniffing, orienting itself, much like a predator does when tracking its prey, whatever it may be.
Someone brought a cougar to the party.
No dogs allowed up here.
I am very quietly telling one of the servants they need to go find Fitz and Hezekiah. Tell them to get back here. Also, Bogwood and Cornwallis.
I'm sorry. Did you happen to pick the servant with the radar dish on their head? Like that is one talented servant.
Well, one to go find you guys, and one to go find the other guys.
Where'd they go? I don't know.
I mean, general direction.
Little do we know, the servants do actually keep tracking devices on us so that they can find us at all times.
Look, they are very dedicated. They're the best servants available. Miss Featherston would have nothing else, nothing but the best, and they want to please her. So of course they're going to keep track of you guys at all times.
Right, so tracking units there will be. Because they're far more afraid of her than us.
Another one I'm going to send for the police and let them know. Make sure they're armed.
Our British cops, they have whistles.
And everybody else get out.
Get out, get out, get out.
I want to keep casualties to a minimum. I don't want them to die. Because then she'd have to replace them, and that's going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, anybody either.
I'm just going to have a session of Mrs. Featherston interviewing servants.
Hey, would you describe yourself as haughty?
The lower half of the... Is it a house or is it a building that we're in?
It is the Royal Observatory at Greenwich.
Okay. The labs, do they have doors that will... Are they iron doors or are they wood doors?
I would say they're iron, especially given some of the crazy stuff that Dr. Cornwallis does. True. And they may have been wood at first, but that probably ran into a problem right off the bat.
So I'm as soon as all the other servants are out and gone, I go back down and just close the doors and lock them. That word.
All right. Give me a It's gonna be coordination and athletics. Try and do this kind of quietly, I'd imagine. All right, so you go to move, and it gets done. Like you're giving the servants their orders, and they're trying to move as quietly away as possible. And but they're also they're servants, but designed to be, in the background at least, but they're not exactly, designed to hide from predators and whatnot. So they're trying to move off as quietly as possible. You're trying to move their designer servants. We're a little early for that, but I can totally see that being a thing. And as you get ready, as everyone starts to kind of, divide up and whatnot, the creature stops. You stop hearing the sniffing, and you hear it. It is on the move. Clearly, going to come out of this room.
Just go. Quietly.
Everybody on the run. Let's see. Oh dear.
Move.
Well, so servants are scattering. You are scattering. One of the servants kind of trips and freezes, and the creature is on him.
Oh, sorry. Nice knowing you.
That is hysterical. And oh well.
Wow.
We try.
The good news is that it will buy you the time to make it to the lab.
Hippocratic oath and all, but you know what? Sorry. Gotta go. Self-preservation and all.
All right. So, yeah, you kind of the sounds of violence as you slam the heavy door to the lab closed, and then you can hear, periodically hear more.
Oh, am I all the servants behind her?
No, not all the servants, but it's not like it's like there's a constant screaming and bloodshed and whatnot or anything like that. But it's the sound of, it's the sound of something big and powerful kind of rifling through the building looking for something, kind of a thing. Or just wrecking the place. It's hard to tell, but yeah, it's not like everyone is screaming in pain. Everyone else made that except for that one poor guy who just, to the family of intern Mark. All right, so we cut from that scene to Hezekiah and Fitz.
Thursday on NBC.
Wow, that actually does work. Actually,
It works for a lot of things. It could be like a buddy cop drama. It could be, could be like a law firm. It goes a lot of different directions.
that's true.
So, Hezekiah.
Wait, whoa.
I want to talk this entire scene as Sean Connery.
Why do you get a Scottish accent? I don't get a Scottish accent. It's hurtful.
Because you're American.
I see. You can pick up the Scottish accent if you want. This is more of a not quite Scottish.
State of mind.
Especially when you play an Egyptian in Highlander.
I'm Egyptian with a Spanish name who happened to spend some time in Japan. Makes perfect sense.
Look, he is an immortal. He's had a lot of names. He's traveled a lot. I'm just saying.
You can call me Steve.
I'm Steve the Highlander.
That's funny. Steve.
That's the reboot.
So, yes, you guys are on your way back to Torchwood. I assume you're heading directly there.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, no, we have useful information at this point.
Yeah.
Listen,
I'm just assuming we get there without getting waylaid
yeah, or
by something more interesting than the office.
You do make it there without getting waylaid by anything like that. You're not being stalked or hunted or. Yeah, a lot of useful information all over the place.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Nothing will be weird.
Think worry about it all.
No, nothing.
So you guys are arriving. So at this point, we start off going out in late evening. By the time you get back, night has fallen.
Shit.
Lamps and stuff are coming on. You guys arrive at the Royal Observatory and Greenwich building, as you often do. You notice something weird right off the bat, and that's the hole in the wall.
Well, that wasn't there when we left.
And I'm pretty sure I didn't do it. So
Hey, we weren't here.
we were not here.
That's awesome.
Okay.
So now this will be our fault.
Can't.
If we weren't here, it's all our fault because we weren't here to stop it.
Yeah. You make a valid point. Suppose we could probably go find out what caused it. Are those our servants?
What?
Those are our servants running away.
Yeah, you kind of see them kind of drifting on, kind of couple of them kind of heading off in different directions.
They look panicked.
Yeah, they are running. Not like, we're moving quickly because we have orders. It's like, we gotta go, kind of a run.
Okay. All right. I speed up the carriage. Speed up.
I speed up the carriage by yelling, "Speed up!"
Go faster. So yeah, you guys.
I'm not driving because I'm not driving.
So yeah, you guys pull up out front there, and yeah, there's clearly you can see like part of like looked like it was like once a window too that's kind of been kind of knocked into something that's kind of came through the wall.
I pull my guns out. Whatever that was strong. The last strong thing we encountered was furry and muscular, wasn't it?
It
Yep.
punched you into a warehouse wall, as I recall, when you guys took it on.
Yeah.
Why is it every time we leave, something bad happens?
I get punched in the wall. All right. It'd probably be better to not. Well, yeah. It probably isn't by the hole anymore. Let's go through the front door.
Sure.
Probably chasing them, which means we'll probably need it. Who's here? We don't know who all is here. We'll find them. Perhaps they had the goods installed. Right? Do we see anybody of the team? Any team members?
No, you do not.
And okay.
So you see a couple of servants. When you come in the front door, the parlor that's there, it has some. I said it's got the debris of something that came crashing through there. The parlor itself has been roughed up a bit, and just outside of the parlor there, you see the what is the remains of one of the servants. I believe he was the valet.
Oh, wait, it's at the remains are at the door.
Kind of, there, kind of by there, because it's kind of where he got caught.
Well, that's frustrating.
It's Yorick.
Oh, I feel bad. I liked him. He's a nice guy.
I knew him well.
You're alas.
Oh God!
I knew him. I never saw Shakespeare done as a call and response kind of thing, but okay.
That's just the kind of groundbreaking group that we are.
All right. Let's go.
All right. I put the gauntlets on. I'm ready to rip something apart. Probably a cow.
All right. And I have Esmeralda and Beatrice. They are ready to earn their keep. And we walk in. I can't picture the layout. You have to tell us. We walk through into the main entryway because they always have entryways.
Yeah, got the main entryway. The main entryway there, kind of. This is the Royal Observatory, and it's Victorian era, so you've got it's kind of vaulted ceiling. It's very nice in here.
Tiled floor from Spain. Crystal from.
Where crystals from?
Madagascar or some other place that they've exploited.
Didn't exploit Spain. Spain was also a what?
The power too at the time. Yeah, it's true. Spain was a power.
Yeah. Spain was more powerful than England right up until this point, basically.
Yes, it's true. So, we have stairs, do we not? Let's go to the
yes. So yeah, you kind of enter the main the main entrance there.
Do we hear anything?
Yes. It is not hard to hear the sound of it's definitely a disturbance. Something is rather thoroughly either searching for or destroying everything in its path, or some combination thereof, destroying while searching for something there. But you can certainly hear the sound of a disturbance. It is coming kind of from the lower towards the lower levels in the direction you'd go if you're heading down towards the labs of Doctors Hale and Cornwallis.
Oh crap.
So yeah, you're kind of heading to head to the right and go down a bit
What did
there.
they do?
Maybe it'll come to us. Stand over there, out of sight. I have a plan.
Got a plan? Okay.
I say loudly, quickly, everyone, run this way. Make noises.
Your stage acting leaves something to be imagination.
I don't think that they care. I bang on the walls. Run quickly. And
the sounds of disturbance stop, and coming up from the lower levels, you hear a rather ominous thudding noise.
Success.
I kind of settle. I kind of get into a semi-crouching position, both guns pointed, and I wait. So I know it's coming.
I pull out my camera and prime it to go off when he comes into the room.
As long as it's not a high flash and it's only pointed at it, I don't care.
So you seriously blinding it with your camera flash?
No,
or?
I'm kidding.
Like,
I want a picture of Mike's face when the thing bowls him over. That's what I really wanted.
Like, wait for it. Let me frame it real quick here.
It's like, I want to see fierce.
Wait a minute.
Like, no, too fierce.
I missed it. Can you guys do that over?
What?
Reset.
I need you to come. Now, I want you to scream again like that, just like that. Blood curdling, more blood curdling.
Yeah, it kind of emerges from the stairs leading down there. It's, I mean, you've seen a couple of them at this point. It's a creature. This one's just over this one's north of 6 feet tall. The big hands, big stocky legs.
Big hands, big claws. More to the point, big claws.
Yeah, big meaty things. Looks like it's got a nice thick hide there, much like the it could be, it might be even thicker than the coroner's was there. But
okay, yeah, all right. I open fire the moment I see it. This time I've learned, shoot the H double hockey sticks out of it.
Hey, you don't want to order it to stop or anything like that? What? Are you sure?
And what I've also learned is debilitate. So I'm just blowing the legs out if I can.
All right. So you're gonna give me shoot gun things.
Like it's 2d6, right?
2d6 plus coordination plus marksman, and since you're using your pistols, you get a +2 bonus for that. So you're gonna add 11 to whatever your 2d6 roll is there.
Okay, and I'm spending a story point because I'm not stupid.
All right, it's been a story point. That means you're gonna roll 46 plus 11.
Didn't Cornwallis give everybody something to shoot it with from a distance with the serum in it?
Yeah.
Me?
I don't know who he gave it to.
I know that he made them, but who did you give those to, Dr. Cornwallis?
Fogwood. Because he hates me. So he wouldn't have given it to me. Wait, why don't we just ask him? Mr. I'm muted and no one can hear me speak.
You're muted there, Will.
Muted, Will.
Expressive face works, so.
Yeah, I know. You're
trying to find the right tab to undo.
Okay, so that's 11 plus, let's see, 10, 15. 26.
That's a heck of a roll. Intimacy moves in Torchwood? What?
There's a bit of a typo.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Like, that's an interesting conversation to be having. Is there something we should know about Mrs. Featherton and Dr. Cornwallis?
My God, no.
Okay. Intimacy moves.
Miss
Yeah.
Miss Cornwallis, I'm very disappointed.
Right
Because
why?
Okay, so you have you are quite successful with your attack. That much is certain. Good craftsman never blames their tools.
Good craftsman never blames the tools. All right.
Let's see. So we're bringing up a chart here, so I can. That's not that one. Combat rules.
Follow how much stuff is going on.
All right, so unloading it with both pistols.
Mm-hmm.
And you have scored a rather fantastic success.
I raised my knowledge by 1 point. My knowledge said, hey, last time you shot it once, that didn't work. So
you have certainly you're aiming for the knees to try and take his legs out from underneath it. Am I correct in that?
Yep.
Well, you have certainly succeeded in that. You've done a significant amount of damage, even with its kind of thicker hide. Your pistols. I forget their names. What are their names again? Here, where we go?
Esmeralda and
Beatrice. They didn't let you down this time. A little bit of a, I don't know, kind of a tingle you felt when they when they fired there.
They're happy, and I'm happy. We're all happy. We tingle. That's what we do.
So yeah, you've kind of brought it down to its knees, so to speak. There, if it's in pain, if it feels pain like normal thing, it's hard to tell. It's just kind of, growling and still trying to swipe at you guys, just with extremely limited mobility and whatnot. There, it's still trying to do what it needs to do.
Okay. Can I jump on it from behind and just crush its head with these gauntlets of awesome?
Oh, the gauntlets of awesome.
Steam-powered gauntlets of awesome.
I like it. So give me, let's see, I think it's going to be more kind of a coordination and, even though you're using the gauntlets, it's still kind of unarmed. So yeah, give me coordination plus fighting plus unarmed combat. So you're going to roll 2d6 and add 9 to it.
11. So if ones are bad, I got 2 of them. So.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's kind of a botch there. So,
up on it, it spins round, and they yanks you underneath.
Oh dear. That's no
I haven't been assaulted by a monster lately.
Oh well, yeah.
So,
jumping onto it, and you jumped into its outstretched arms.
Yeah. So it's okay. You line up this masterful shot, and it comes charging up these stairs, and you get the knees, you feel the tingle of energy that just kind of radiates off your guns when it happens, and And it hits it and kind of goes into like one of those things like where you kind of fall on your knees, and just kind of sliding forward with momentum and whatnot there. And then Fitz, from off to the side, from where you told him to wait, you hear the kind of chink of the gauntlets as he goes to spring into action. But the creature is still a formidable foe, even on its knees. It certainly can't chase, but if you come to it, it can still do some damage. And so as Fitz tries to jump on the back of this thing, ride it cowboy style, it was kind of a frightening speed, right? It kind of snatches Fitz from the air and just kind of bodily slams him to the tiled floor. You almost hear kind of a bit of a crack. I don't know if that's something in Fitz's back or the floor.
Hoping the floor.
Kind of hard to tell.
Puny.
Oh.
Yes. So, Fitz, you're gonna take some damage from that one. There's no getting around that.
I don't remember how the damage even works in this.
Well, you don't have hit points. The damage comes out of your attributes. That's what the red column is to the left of your attributes, because damage, of course, to them is temporary, so you don't want to lose your actual score and whatnot. And when you hit 0 in an attribute, it becomes kind of like if you hit 0 strength, then you can't move much. You can't really move anymore. If you hit 0 in 2 of them, you're more or less incapacitated. If you hit 0 in 3 of them, you're dead. So you don't want to do that. I think this is going to be a nasty one here. Let's see. The damage he did and what happened there. You're going to lose a couple points of strength and a point of coordination. So you're going to be down to 1 strength and 2 coordination.
Oops.
Ow. Ow.
Blame Mike.
Don't blame me. I told you to stay over there.
Blame my dice.
Thanks for the Christmas present, Bryce.
You're welcome. I don't want these dice anymore. I'm tired of them killing me. So you know what? Time to farm them out to other places.
Places that can be useful to me. Ow.
So yes, Fitz. The creature has. Hezekiah. The creature has Fitz. This kind of almost looks like trying to smash him into the basement through the floor.
Okay, it's frustrated and annoyed right now, so it's taking it out on him. Which I say, hey, you're frustrated? Take it out on me. Not really imaginative. I'm very, very, very.
Those direct, literal kind of people, aren't you?
Yeah, that's the kind of people I'm from. Direct and literal.
Yeah, it's trying to shuffle in your direction while still kind of maintaining its kind of hold on Fitz there. It's got something there, and it's like an animal. It's like an animal with its prey there. It's like,
Okay, fine. I try to dissuade it. I shoot it again. With the girls. Let's see what we got.
You can roll 2 1s and shoot me.
It would be fair. Last time you did shoot someone during a rescue operation with a shotgun.
That only happened once.
I rolled what? Okay, so I rolled. Wait, I specialize with pistols. What's that?
Yeah. So you're gonna add. So it's coordination, marksman, and pistols. So you're gonna add 5 plus 4 plus a bonus 2 for your pistols. So you're gonna add 11 to whatever you just rolled.
Okay. 12, 14. I rolled 3.
Oh.
It was very close.
You don't feel the energetic tingle from the girls this time. The bullets, you make contact because it's not like it can dodge necessarily, but it just seems like trying not to shoot Fitz and trying to get its attention and whatnot. You just kind of must have hit like a thicker part of its hide and doesn't seem to have had much of any kind of an effect on it.
Ah, crap. All right. All
I'm
right.
going to try to rip its arm off that it's got me pinned down with.
I think you should do that.
Now that I'm
slam.
Pretty much.
That's why I'm trying to avoid.
All right, so yeah, it's gonna be okay. So this one's going to be
spend story points.
All right,
Mr.
So, all right, so it's +4 to a strength roll. I'm looking at what I set the stuff there. So you're going to actually do this thing. So you're going to roll your modified strength. So you have 1 strength because of your injuries. Plus your fighting, plus your unarmed combat, plus the +4 bonus for the strength gauntlets there. So it's 1 + 4 + 2 + 4. So that's 11.
I'd spend the story points, but that's just me.
I don't even know what story points are used for. How do I use story points? Just to make
story
Mike
points
stay.
or like plot points in various other games. You can use them for a variety of things. The most prominent use of them is that if you spend a story point to add dice to a roll, you get an additional 2d6.
Okay, I want to add 2d6 to my roll.
All right, so take away 1 of your story points and roll 46 + 11.
Ah, shoot. $11. 25.
All right, so you're looking to crush its arm, rip off its arm. What were your plans are here?
I was trying to remove its arm, but mostly for myself, I think is probably my main priority. However, if I could permanently damage it in the process, that'd be awesome too.
Well, with what you rolled and combined with the damage that it's already taken, yeah, you can't necessarily rip its arm off, but you can certainly pry it off of you and kind of injure it significantly in the process.
Okay. That's what I'll do then.
All right, so there's the clink clink of the gauntlet spinning into action, and not hard to get a good grip on the hand that has a grip on you. It's periodically kind of slamming you into the floor. You are able to force it off, and you kind of hear the kind of popping, the snapping of bones and tendons and whatnot.
Well, I'm sure that didn't feel good.
Yeah, it definitely lets out a roar and kind of slumps. It's kind of it's kind of one of those things like you kind of push it, and it you kind of get enough kind of leverage on it that you're able to actually kind of push it so it kind of folds back and away from you, so it's kind of crumpled on the floor.
All right, I run up, grab him, and drag him away. I'm sorry, Fitz. I drag Fitz away.
I rescue the monster from Fitz.
Rescue the monster from Fitz. Yeah, that's not good. Aiming at Fitz. What happened? Fitz Seagal. All right. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's there on the ground. It's still very much in monster form, but it has been injured enough that it's got one good arm that if you got near it, it could, it could certainly reach out and make you regret those decisions.
All right.
But in terms of pursuit and whatnot, it's not really capable of mounting any kind of offense at this point. So we're kind of out of combat.
Okay. I go, is there anyone here?
So, Dr. Hale, from down in the lab, you were there as it sounded like the creature was getting closer. Then sounded like the monster turned away. And then you heard some guns. You heard a number of gunshots, and now you hear someone yelling about anyone here.
Bang on the door.
Loud banging comes from down in the basement.
Okay, I'll head that way. Walking carefully backwards. Keep my eyes on it. Actually fits.
Yeah.
I think I should keep my guns on this thing. So why don't you go and see who the banging is?
All right.
You okay?
Maybe.
You look sort of smush. Never mind.
All right,
That's fine.
so
I go to the basement.
you find there is a banging noise coming from behind the solid metal door that leads to the lab area.
All right. Tap on the door.
Tap, tap, tap.
Easy.
Why are you guys locked in the basement?
Unbolt the door and open it. Why do you think?
Well, it's not like anybody let a monster go inside the building or anything.
Where is it?
It's gone.
Are you sure?
Well, it's mostly dead.
Been like that all day.
It's got a really bad arm and been shot a couple times, so I think it's okay. I think you guys are safe to come out. What was that? The mouse?
No, crashed in through the front parlor.
Oh,
He's
it's oh.
This large button.
Somebody sent us an extra gift. Well, let's go find out who he is.
Grab
I
some.
don't know. What if it's Fogwell? Fogwood. Fogwell. That was a screwy name too.
No, get my name right.
Oh.
Screw you guys. I'm going to become a monster and kill you all.
Did that last game. You don't get to do it again.
I'm going to grab some serum before we go up there. So.
Right.
Check and find out who it is.
I like Fogbox. That's actually kind of a
Fogbox. Fog.
All right.
Why
So,
not Snog? I mean, if you're gonna go that route,
Fog Dog.
Fog. All right, I'm up there. I'm keeping my guns on it.
yeah, it's definitely kind of. It's got it. You're keeping your guns on it. It's kind of swung its head around and it's just. If looks could kill, it'd be bad.
Yeah.
It's constantly trying to reach out at you with its good arm. And
I say really mean things to while I'm waiting.
Freak this out.
Oh, wait, hold up. When I see the doctor. Doctor?
Yes.
Good to see that is everyone okay?
As far as I know, except for one.
Yeah, poor guy. I don't suppose you have a way of introducing that antidote to someone without actually being in proximity to them?
I know Dr. Cornwallis was established a system to do that.
Hey, I look over and see the decorative reeds. I spin the story point. The decorative reeds that are in the vase by the door.
Sure, spend a story point. There's totally some decorative reeds there.
And is this a hollow blowgun?
Oh, it's
It can be.
decorative reed. What's wrong with you?
It's kind of simple for him to make. It's a pneumonic tube.
Fine, but the decorative, it's brass rods made to look like decorative reeds. What do you want? I mean, it's just
The only problem with that is that I still have to inject serum.
So you can't. We don't have any. You need an injectable cartridge, I guess. We need a genius who's able to create something like that on almost the spur of the moment. Gee, I wonder, do we have one of those?
If only.
If only we had one of those.
It's laying down, Bryce, the creature?
Yes, yeah, it's kind of, well, it's definitely crumpled on the floor there. You can see that it's got a significant wound to its knee, and it's like its right arm is been pretty significantly mangled there.
And it keeps trying to kill me by looking at me and swiping at me with its other arm that is uninjured and heavily clawed.
See if I can try approaching it from the non-arm side.
Okay, all right. Then the alternative is for me to distract it. I take the stick, the rod that no one wanted. I walk around the other side.
You're gonna poke him, aren't you?
And I poke him with the stick.
So yeah, that's definitely distracting. It's definitely focused on.
I use voice of authority.
All right.
Well, if it works, it works, I guess.
It's distracted.
I make it so that it cannot ignore me. I make it for life. Poke, 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 poke.
With that, I come up on the other side and jab it in the jugular area, I guess.
You jab it, and it kind of roars, and that kind of gets its attention there, but it starts to kind of certainly starts to convulse in the way that you've seen these things happen when exposed to the serum. From there, we will cut to Miss Featherston and Detective Woosley.
Oh, my camera's off. I was totally doing like the head tilt. Can't see it.
Yeah, hey, there we are, joining us live from the kitchen.
I need you to roll him over and get his backside in the air. Nope, that one's gonna just rampage, and we ain't stopping him.
It's fine, we're fine. All right, so Miss Featherston, you are out with Detective Woosley. Fantastic sideburns.
Woosley.
Heading to meet with Sergeant Lewis there of the South London precinct, find out about his endorsement of Officers Jackson and Alexander.
Yes.
So, on the way there to Woolsey's. So, what do you think we're going to find with this Sergeant Lewis?
What do you mean?
And clearly, you know, these people are, you know, somewhat suspicious with their Squeaky King record and whatnot. And do you think he's in on it, or just kind of look at their records, or?
My dear Inspector, I am not the experienced policeman that you are, but I do think it would behoove us to be thorough in this matter, given the suspicious activities of these individuals, don't you?
Well, yes, of course. You know, and clearly, you know, hindsight being what it is, and whatnot there, and since they seem to be very much alive and very much up to no good.
As I understand it, from whatever the heck his name was that we just talked to, it's very unusual for gentlemen to transfer together from one department or from one precinct to the next.
Well, it is a bit odd, yeah, and
By anyone.
it's certainly an unusual thing, yes, and typically, and you know, someone might transfer somewhere to work with someone they know, but you know, two people transferring together is kind of highly unusual.
And she's looking at him expectantly.
So, I don't know, really part of some larger scheme then?
Undoubtedly.
Well,
as I said, I would like to be thorough.
As we should be, yes. Let's get to the bottom of this. Yeah. See just how far this goes. So, you guys arrive at the all the way to the Emperor.
Penguins.
You guys arrive at the South London precinct. Of course, it's getting late, so it's around about shift change, clean time kind of a thing. Marching in there, of course, pretty good amount of activity. It is a police precinct and all. Get to Bruce and say, "Do you want to do the honors, or should I announce this?"
Well, do you know this sergeant?
No, I haven't had much interaction with him. Never been. In any case that he's been a part of, at least our paths haven't crossed. And, hasn't had much cause to interact with the yard, it would seem.
Well, it is South London, after all.
Well, there is that, yes.
And she will lead the way in. He can be my guard dog.
All right, so yeah, I guess there the desk sergeant kind of looks up at you, like, think it's that look of definitely kind of different than the usual clientele that they get here. Can I help you?
We are here for Sergeant Lewis, please.
Okay. I think he's still around here someplace. Do you have an appointment or something? Or
No. I did not realize I needed an appointment to have a conversation with a public servant.
well, don't. I was just curious if you'd be expecting you, ma'am. Sorry. You want me to give him a name or?
The look she gives him is absolutely withering.
I'll just go get him. Kind of wanders off.
She mutters something about him being extremely presumptuous.
Well, they don't get much of our type here. Just some neck of the woods there.
Yes. I forget myself. I really should be more aware of the little people around me.
What fun would that be?
I know.
Who cares about such things? So, after a bit, the death sergeant comes back, and in tow he's got another gentleman, still in his uniform. Got the markings of a sergeant there. Badge, a little bit older, a little bit out of shape necessarily. Probably isn't going to be chasing down any suspects through these streets of London anytime soon. But comes wandering up, like, well, I'm Sergeant Albert Lewis.
Oh my God! Hold on. I gotta look up some piece of information. I forgot my husband's name. Terrible. Stanton. So she'll extend a hand expectantly. Stanton Featherston. And I'm accompanied by Inspector Woodley of the Scotland Yard. Maybe
Sounds like
your time.
Oh, well, of course. Anything for the yard. Yeah. Kind of awkwardly takes your hand there. And kind of an awkward moment. It's clearly that's not something he's accustomed to and whatnot.
He's like, what do I do with it?
What do I do? Well, I can, room over here we can go to. I suppose we need a little bit of privacy, someplace to sit down, or
your desk will do.
So it kind of snakes you, through the precinct. Desk is cluttered. Kind of drags some chairs from around. It's like, well, have your make yourself comfortable.
She sits on the very edge of the chair, very primly.
She didn't wipe it first. She didn't sit.
So he's kind of puts down one of those things where he kind of straightens out his uniform and kind of sits upright a bit, like, so
you
can I do for you?
We have just come from another precinct to which you recommended two individuals, Constables Jackson and Alexander. We have some questions for you.
That is your character sheet. And why don't you give me
what? Another cookie? I can give you another cookie.
Well, perhaps, but not right now. We're in the middle of a scene. We'll wait until later on the cookie. Awareness and ingenuity.
I have a 12.
Well, yeah, still managed to roll better than he did. There's kind of a look that comes over him, over his face. It's fleeting when you mentioned Jackson and Alexander. Kind of best way to describe it. Not like a look of, not like, like horror or confusion or anything like that, but just worry kind of comes across his face.
Okay.
Kind of a fleeting expression, like, yeah, Jackson and Alexander. Yeah, I remember those two chaps. Yeah.
Excellent. What do you remember about them?
Well, they walked a beat here. Some precincts for it's not tough, tough beat. It's a lot of crime in that area, but they didn't have a lot of complaints against them. They not have any complaints against them. I have to go look there, but had a pretty good arrest record, and they did a real good job of keeping the peace, if you know what I mean.
Is that a euphemism for something?
Well, I don't know how much you know about, police work on the streets, but sometimes things get a bit rough out there, and they were, they made sure that, like the fine and decent people, the good citizens and whatnot, they didn't get harassed too much down there, so.
I see. And what about their personal lives?
Well, I think Jackson dated her for a bit. I don't think Alexander. I don't think Alexander ever had much in terms of a lady friend or anything like that.
No, I would certainly expect not. Did they seem unusually close?
Well, I don't know if I'd call them unusually close. They were good friends and worked well together.
And transferred out of your precinct together, is that correct?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, a little odd. They liked working together, and I felt like that they could move up in the world a bit faster there over in Croydon. So yeah.
Was there a specific event that precipitated that decision?
That I'm aware of or anything. No, it's just that the word came they were looking for people, and they had some openings or something.
What I find fascinating about these particular constables is that they have an outstanding service record. Isn't that so?
Well, yeah, like I said, they're great officers. They're just shame to lose them.
And yet, when they chose to transfer from your precinct, you sent them off with open arms?
Well, like I said, you hate to lose them, but you don't want to stand in the way of what their careers or anything like that.
And what about this scandal we heard about?
He kind of freezes from him, like, what? What's scandal?
Well, it happened under your watch. I had assumed that helped your decision to show them the door.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I'm trying to provoke some sort of reaction from him to kind of feel out some weak points in his story.
Okay, so yeah, this is going to be present and convince, and you can use your leadership on this, and even your voice of authority as well. I think would stack in there.
So presence, convince, leadership, and voice of authority.
So yeah, you're going to add 14 to whatever you roll there.
24.
Oh, he should have rolled better than that.
He's only a sergeant.
I know. So he's like, yeah. He's like, well, wait, yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of echo coming through.
From somewhere.
Yeah,
Testing
yeah,
1, 2.
Yeah. I think Google's decided to make your audio echo there, John. All right. So, yeah, you were you were looking to provoke a reaction from him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's like, well, no, scandal? No, it's squeaky clean. Everything. We definitely, whole change in his demeanor, that he's, like on the defensive and just kind of trying to deflect away from this in a hurry.
Sergeant, I've heard that you are a very impressive individual. Your reputation precedes you in a great many circles. I would hate to see you brought down by these two.
So he's kind of standing I look. I don't want to. I don't want any I don't want any trouble. All right. Seriously. I don't. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. They just wanted to transfer.
I think we can all agree that your interests, or your secrets, are in the best interests of Scotland Yard. I'm certain, as long as you're helpful, they won't pursue any damages. And she looks to her bulldog for confirmation.
Woozy is just kind of fixed. This guy with the stairs kind of nods like, oh yeah, you can you cooperate, and the yard will certainly certainly has bigger fish to fry in this matter, I would say. Right. Okay, fine. Look, yes, they have a squeaky clean record if you look at the records because the whole thing is
That's the most dramatic pause ever.
I was just gonna ask if it was me or
I don't think it's you.
it's like we lost Andrew too, so it must be the
Yeah,
internet.
that's right. So Wi-Fi.
We're gonna find the secret.
Yeah, well, so close. Well, she was chewing up some poor functionary.
Yeah, I bet you're happy it's not you this time.
Yeah, I am. I must admit. Hey,
Oh, we even lost John too.
John.
Oh, he's gonna log off. Okay, that was purposeful.
Yeah, he's trying to get his sound situation straightened out.
That is just so weird how Google will do that. It'll be perfect for 2 hours, and all of a sudden, just we're gonna jack up your audio.
No, it's weird. It is nice to see someone else on the receiving end, though. I'm back.
Did that take care of the echo?
Mm-hmm.
So far,
It looks
yeah.
like it, yeah.
Okay. Of course, the two people I haven't seen, that's when their computers.
Right.
I know. Has anyone else done the Dresden update with you yet, William?
I think John's the last one. Well, John and Rachel.
Trying to look.
We're
Okay,
gonna take care of theirs, or at least John's tomorrow.
cool.
Well,
All right.
We got 2 Bryces for the price of 1. Why did we do that? Why did we get that?
no, Google likes to keep on giving.
Indeed.
Likes to give us lots of Bryce. Lots of Bryce.
All me, all the time.
Sweetie, no, anything going on here.
We just thought Bryce was going through a very dramatic pause. I mean, it was like right at the right moment.
He just dramatically paused again.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
No,
Wait,
he's
that's
moving.
not my-
Back,
Oh,
he's
it's his
back.
I
head
know,
testing.
and I'm like knocking on the wall, and I'm like, honey, everything stopped, honey.
Don't stop moving. Don't stop moving.
You're talking. I could hear him still talking, and I'm like, no, I'm missing the story.
Okay. So, that connection hiccup number 2 of the evening. Brought to you by the fine folks at Charter Spectrum. Okay, so as I was saying before things got cut off there, I was like, yeah, look, yes, they've got clean records, but that's because they know how to play the game. It's all, it's all smoke and mirrors and whatnot. You make it look good for the reports, and quite frankly, we don't care too much, And everyone, they worked a rough beat where there was a lot of, undesirable elements, and it was pretty well known that their services were available to the highest bidder. As long as the rest of us got a piece of the action, we didn't didn't really care that much. We've got good arrest records. People stay in line more or less. The bad guys, keep it clean down there. And, we all get a little richer. What can we have? No harm, no foul, right? It's not like we're killing anyone or anything like that.
How very financially responsible of you.
Look, we don't all get born with a silver spoon in our mouth. Some of us, earn every way we can. Like I said, it's not like we were out, killing people or whatnot. It's kind of taking our bit off the top. It's going to happen anyway,
And in these endeavors, would you say the constables were more successful than the rest, or less so?
Yes. They were overachievers.
So we have before us two constables who are doing very well for themselves in their positions, have made a name for themselves with their colleagues, and they've chosen to walk away from it.
Look, it didn't make any sense to me either. I had a good thing going here. Not everyone was terribly happy to to see them go, but they paid their dues, so to speak. Decided to you hate to lose good earners like that, but I can bring in some new talent, I guess. They didn't pay for it on the way out, so one last bonus payment, so to speak.
Were you privy to their records?
Well, yes, I was kind of one of the supervisor. I was kept in the loop on such things. Don't want to get caught off guard. Make sure that I'm everyone involved is getting their fair share. Don't want people getting greedy.
To the best of your knowledge, did someone from the Croydon area reach out to them?
They wouldn't fess up to it, but I think they got a better offer from somewhere out there. I don't know necessarily from who, but I think that I think that they did. I think that's why they wanted to go out there, because it certainly, the beat they had, they were pretty well set. They were very much in line with everyone down there and whatnot. They, like I said, never could pry out from them from who was there, but they definitely got an offer from someone over there. I don't know who in Croydon would have that kind of pull, but
well, I'm certain whomever it was has quite a bit of financial backing. Thank you for your time, Sergeant.
so this is all off the record, just between us, right?
Of course. I would hate to endanger your very sterling record.
Well, yeah, of course. I said, anything, anything else I can, do to help or anything, I'm going to cooperate. I want to play ball.
We shall absolutely keep that in mind should we need anything that your precinct can assist us with.
Good. Yeah, just that's it. You know, as long as we're all friends here.
Thank you for your time.
Nods. He looks relieved.
And we shall go.
All right. Which is like, can't believe that. Makes me, you know, this is the kind of thing that erodes, you know, the trust that the people have in us.
Well, I am certainly pleased I do not own any properties in South London.
Yeah, probably paying protection money. Protection money to them.
So it seems the next step is to find out who this mysterious benefactor of theirs is.
Yeah. And clearly, according to their files, they live somewhere around here. We'd go, we'd go question people at their, question people around there, see where these two like to hang out. Maybe find out where find out if these saw anyone.
Wish I had my fan in here. I don't have my fan. It's terrible. So she kind of puts a hand over her mouth, although there's obviously like a smile underneath it, and she averts her gaze very delicately, and she says, I am afraid a proper lady is not quite cut out for the same level of field work a strapping young gentleman like you are.
Kind of blushes a bit, like, well, you know, I was just sitting there and you need to get back. I could I could certainly do the legwork and let you know what I find out.
That would be very kind of you. And of course, any information we've hunted down in my absence, I would be happy to share with you to solve this case.
Excellent, yes. So finally get all this nonsense, taken care of and get these people off the streets and put a stop to these these heinous crimes.
Thank you for being kind enough to accompany me.
It was my pleasure, Miss Featherson.
I'm totally stealing his stagecoach.
Go a minute. And he watches his coach drive off and go, hey man, that was my ride.
He said they lived around here. He's got it. It's fine.
You'll be fine. Alright. So you were heading back to Torchwood then?
Yep.
Everything is good.
I don't know why everyone's perfect.
Everything is fine.
I'm sure.
I'm sure the valet will let you in right away.
Yes. I mean, valets don't do that, but it's a good thought, John.
Summon the valet. About that, his sacrifice will be remembered.
I chose the valet because the valet is the gentleman's servant. So I haven't lost anybody.
Priorities.
That's just.
It all makes sense.
And I thought you were a nice person.
I am going to extort you for every bit of Victorian knowledge I have.
So we will smash cut from there back to Barnaby and Cornwall. Last seen jumping into a spinning blue tunnel of light for points unknown.
It's a workout.
You arrive back in the carriage. You land kind of with a thud.
Can you close that up?
Working on it.
Yeah, with the roll that you made there, the 34 or whatever it is, you kind of push some buttons and it kind of snaps back closed.
Well, I suggest we get back to base, I guess, and find out who this Mr. Chestnut is.
Let's. As soon as we get outside, if I see a wandering child, boy, what day is it?
Before Christmas Eve. Do I have enough time?
Like,
There's still time.
It was all a dream.
Christmas Eve,
All
Mr.
the dream.
You got to give me some money if you want that goose, though.
Yeah, he tells you the date. It's the day that I can't remember if we established the exact date in July, but he gives you today's date in July 1880.
As much as I'd like to study that pathway more,
No, not now.
Yeah,
Nope.
later.
Yep.
I guess there are other things we should do.
I will hail a carriage.
All right.
She's night knitting as we hear her
I'm sorry.
playing.
I'm not. Yeah, it's not a commentary on the role play. It's just I'm knitting.
We know how you roll.
Has she always knitted when we play?
No, it's a new thing.
No,
Ah. Okay.
keeps me focused on.
No, usually she's playing Deadpool.
Right.
Knitting.
All right. So you guys are heading back to Torchwood. Mrs. Featherstone is heading back to Torchwood.
The band back together.
So everyone back in the same area again.
Could all be in the same scene for once.
It's a crazy concept, right?
I know.
I hear groups do that every once in a while.
Ever?
When they say never split the group up, we say, yeah, hold my beer.
Let's see how many micro groups we can make.
Like, well, you better have a serious multitasking streak in you if you're going to game master for us.
That's right. So juggle all the different slot lines and whatnot there. So, you guys back at Torchwood there, Fitz, Hezekiah, and Hale are watching this poor creature kind of convulse on the floor, reforming into a human. Seems to be taking longer though than the coroner's transformation. And oh well, they did
Never
did
liked
roll
that.
well at least there. So, well, fortunately, that roll means that this person will at least survive the transformation and won't die in the process, so that's good.
It's a positive thing.
I wonder who it is. Mr. Feeney?
I would have gotten away with it too, if not for you kids, you meddling kids. It transforms someone you don't recognize him. It's not someone. It's not someone that you've met.
I have medical at 1.
Well, that and Dr. Haley is also a medical practitioner and whatnot.
Yes, so I'm just helping her because there's lots to patch.
Yes. Yeah.
I got medical at 0. I start sticking thumbs in the guy.
It's hurt.
Like, how about that? Sore.
Stops the bleeding.
It does stop in a cork fashion. Yes. Cork-like fashion. All right.
Certainly transforming back into like.
Not a fan, huh? He is so not a fan.
Someone didn't like The Amazing Spider-Man, and I second that opinion. Yeah, somebody you don't recognize. It's not someone that you've met. Looks like it's a younger man might be in his late 20s, early 30s. Hard to tell. Clearly led kind of a rougher life from kind of the looks of it. Separating his significant injuries. That unlike the coroner's injuries that did not heal on their own, by the time this person gets done transforming, his arm is most of it turned to normal, and the significant wounds to his knees have healed up probably about 75% of them from what they were there. It's mostly healed.
I'd be really nervous right now if he weren't human again. Is he awake?
No, he unfortunately is currently unconscious, much like the coroner was unconscious for a while after he transformed. Yeah, definitely looks like someone who's not like lived rough life in terms of bar fights or anything like that, but someone who has certainly worked very hard in the kind of conditions that exist in 1880 Victorian London.
Doctor, do you have any smelling salts?
Ew.
Let's see who this gentleman is.
Maybe we should restrain him first before we wake him up.
Valid point.
And
Corner might take me.
I wouldn't put him in there with the coroner.
Well,
manacles anyone? Oh, Bob. Do you have any manacles on you? I'm just checking.
No, but I do have some ether.
Maybe later, not now. Okay, we resort to rope. Rope works good. And actually, get him out of. Can we get out of this hallway?
Yes. You can move him. So while you guys are getting ready to move him,
how big? Because if I can, I just pick him up and carry him.
With your strength, yeah, you can carry him. He's not in non-monster form. He's not overly big. He's kind of wiry. Would be the best description for him. He's probably he's not anywhere near as tall he was in monster form. He's like 5'8".
Okay, yeah, that works then. Because let's see,
Why don't you strap him down to the gurney?
Yeah, my strength is fine.
Yeah, you got strength 6. We're not gonna make a roll for it. He's not
Okay.
he's not resisting, and yeah, he's kind of dead weight, but you got strength 6, so you're there's not really much to roll there. So you're getting him picked up and strapped down to the gurney, Mrs. Featherston. Your carriage pulls up. Assume you pull up and wherever you pulled up to there at the Royal Observatory Greenwich building. And, it's dark. You've been out for a bit. Can't help but notice, even in the dark, there's a hole in the front of the building that wasn't there before.
There's always a body or a prisoner every time she gets home.
Okay, I love those too. So I'll pay off the cab driver.
Okay.
Like there's nothing untoward happening.
All the servants are outside, looking very nervous and downtrodden.
They haven't come back yet, actually.
Oh, that's funny. They flat out, I'm going home.
What kind of hole does this look like?
Well, it's like you're looking at the wall, and you've got like there's like where a window was, and it's like something came crashing through the wall, kind of adjacent to the window, almost. So it's kind of a rounded hole in the wall. Certainly big enough for a person to have come through. Doesn't look like something rammed the building vehicular-wise. You don't see any evidence of that. But
is there debris outside the hole? Like there may have been an explosion from within the building?
No.
That's new. Interesting. Well, I will use the front door. Because I'm a proper English woman.
But I love that she's a little speechless. That's new.
You don't see that every day.
Yeah, that's new.
I didn't think they could impress me.
I mean, had it been an explosion, I would have known who to start screaming at. But new.
Not it.
Not it. We didn't do it. You can't blame us for this one.
Okay. So I shall clutch my rainy day umbrella tightly to my chest, inch open the front door.
Poor valet's still on the floor, isn't he?
Yeah. The first thing you see is the remains of the valet.
Alas,
yes.
Joke is never gonna get old.
Never gonna get old. And
it's like he fell into a taffy puller.
certainly a mess.
Oh, good.
Definitely, at first glance, suffered some very similar wounds to a lot of the dead bodies that you guys have seen here of late.
Yeah, good. Okay. So I guess then I will cautiously start moving from room to room, looking for a monster to slay or servants to rescue or something heroic.
Well, you do hear sounds of activity and talking coming from kind of the kind of from the main entryway area, just beyond the door there.
Okay. I shall slink in that direction.
And in there, there's a pretty good bloodstain on the floor. Also, looks like some of the tile work is cracked by something on the floor there.
That's exciting.
And up and about, you've got Dr. Hale, Hezekiah, Fitz, who's moving a bit gingerly. Seem to be hoisting some random person up on a gurney.
So I will take this unobserved moment to compose myself. pinch my cheeks to bring a little bit color back into them. Put on my British mask and carry on. And then as soon as they've gotten the heavy thing hoisted onto the gurney, because I'm thoughtful like that and I don't want them to drop it, I will ask, what happened?
Well,
I open my mouth, close my mouth, and then look at Dr. Hale and go,
I was working in the lab and I heard a loud thud and then some crashing noises, and I came up to investigate, and this gentleman was one of the beasts that we have been investigating. Came apparently through the wall, outside wall.
Uh-huh. And who is this gentleman?
I have no idea. I have not seen him before.
And where are we going with him at present?
Down to the lab, so I can wake him up. Well, restrain him and then wake him up and find out who he is.
I see. Are you all right, Fitz?
I've been better.
All right. Well,
I missed.
You missed.
I missed.
the first time.
Okay.
That was all it took.
I know.
Well, long story short, managed to subdue him, and I injected him with serum. Antidote serum.
I see. Is it safe to remove his prison and replace him with this individual?
I would prefer not to. As long as he's restrained, he should be fine. But other gentleman, unknown gentleman.
I bow to your wisdom. Our lab's just going to be a bunch of cages. Good. Let me go see if I can find some brandy or port or something for you, Fitz.
Thank you.
Yes, that would be very good.
I
will go do that.
Fogwood drinks makes him sick.
Poor Lieutenant. Everybody's picking on him.
Perhaps a meat pie from Mrs. Levitt's will lift his spirits.
Ew, 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 that is nasty.
No.
Tastes like chicken.
It's one of those 4 or 5 major meats, right?
Sure.
You can get a shave too.
Yeah. We're going to go find some liquor.
No.
New motto.
No.
Find some liquor.
I totally would have laughed if the werewolf would have gotten into the poisoned brandy.
That would have been outstanding, but alas, never stopped to take a drink. Damn it!
There's a 6-foot-tall creature horking in our sitting room. God damn it! You don't even know what comes up from inside that. Okay, we just need to burn this building down for the insurance money at this rate. There's not enough servants on the plant to get this room clean again.
It's been throwing up for the last 30 minutes, and it's just in one spot. Ew.
Just need to burn the house down and move.
Pretty much.
That might be appropriate.
Oh, well, well, you
Once
were rounding up some brandy, and we're moving body around. Let's bring Dr. Cornwallis and Lieutenant back to Torchwood. There's a hole in the wall. That wasn't there before.
Well,
Did I set any kind of experiment running when I left?
I do not know, Doctor.
I don't believe I did.
But the
At
fact
least
that
nothing explosive.
it's fun that that's a possibility, though.
I do hope that everyone's okay.
Well, let's go find out.
Certainly. Walk through the hole in the wall.
Because he's not a
Okay.
proper British woman.
Entrance is a hole in the wall in the front parlor. It's been kind of trashed. Miss Featherston, is where we keep the booze, so you might be in there grabbing some when Dr. Cornwallis strolls through the hole.
Doctor?
Ah, Mrs. Featherstone. It's good that you're here as well. We've made quite a discovery.
And then we noticed a hole in the wall.
I was just going to ask you about your discovery.
We discovered this hole in the wall and decided to investigate. So, what's up with the hole in the wall?
Have you seen this hole in the wall right here?
I don't even mention the hole. It's as if it's not there.
Well, I am afraid our conversation will have to wait. Mr. Nagel seems as though he's been injured. Alas, poor York lies dead in the foyer.
Oh.
I did like him.
Well, yes, you did put my jacket on very well.
We knew him well, too.
Yes. And
Well,
the human form of the creature that created that is currently being carted downstairs.
Funny enough, I think we know who creates those creatures.
Yes, we actually met him
Excellent.
3 months from now, but we did meet him.
You need that drink sooner than you thought, don't you?
Yeah.
Goodness, get the glass.
What the doctor says is odd. It's nonetheless true.
As I said, that conversation will have to wait.
Okay.
And I think she has like the silver platter of like sherry glasses. And she starts to give them to Cornwallis, then thinks better of it, and gives it over to the lieutenant. Downstairs, please.
Am I a servant now?
Uh-oh.
Maybe.
As I said, Mr. Nagel has been wounded. I think we've all had a bit of a shock. If you'd rather not partake and wait for me to return to what's left of this room to discuss your findings in 3 months, then please, by all means, hand Dr. Cornwallis the tray.
I will gladly serve it to my colleagues. I will not partake, though.
Oh, they're empty. They're empty.
Oh.
It's just she just needs to transport the glasses somehow, as well as the liquor. So you get the glasses.
But I really think we should talk about what we've discovered. I think you could quicken this investigation.
Well then, please fill me in as we're descending into the lab.
All right, so I tell her about the portal and how the good doctor went into the portal, and I bravely went after him to retrieve him.
Unfortunately, your hands are too full of glasses to pat yourself on the back.
And we soon discovered that we were in October. And we met a man who claimed to be the ruler of England. And he has given some of the tonic to the Queen and sent the Queen after us.
She did not look well.
No. So I believe that we should investigate this gentleman. His name is Mr. Chestnut.
I believe his intelligence might even rival my own as well.
I think if either of you are looking at her, there is just a momentary hesitation as she's taking a step. And then she carries on because she's British.
Was that step at the mention of the name or just the story in general?
The name.
Okay. Not that I would notice that anyway. But.
I do notice. Do you know Mr. Chestnut?
Indeed. In fact, he interviewed to work here alongside you.
He did mention that in this time period, in 3 months from now, that he'd gotten rid of all of Torchwood by that point as well.
Mm.
So he...
Very optimistic, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, never fear. I believe we can pay the good men of the South London Police Precinct to protect us.
Are they really qualified?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's the Minority Report Torchwood mashup. We
didn't know you wanted.
All right. So, forgive me, my mind wandered a bit. Mr. Chestnut has taken up residence in a carriage and fancies it is 3 months from now.
Yes, he indicated it was October when I asked him. He seemed to be quite surprised that I was there.
I'm certain he was.
I believe okay, correct me if I'm wrong, Bryce, if I'm adding to, when I asked about the constables, did he just evade the question or did he say there's a lot of people?
You just said a lot of people have been
Okay.
through. It was kind of a non-answer.
Okay. He seems to be able to travel between time from his point of view to now, or from here to then, by way of this portal that he's created.
So what if we smash the carriage?
It's quite possible. That's an option. I'd have to examine it a little bit more. I have some equipment I might be able to, now that I know what I'm looking for, be able to find other locations if it's not merely the carriage.
I really don't think that would work. I think the carriage is merely a passageway.
Apparently the portal, yes, he did indicate that since we traveled differently than he did, he accessed this portal differently than he did, we moved through time. So he might not be doing that. I think it may just be location and distance. These are, of course, hypotheses at this point.
How reassuring.
I'll get working on the data that I collected immediately. See what I can develop.
Well, perhaps we can bring the rest of our team in on your hypotheses at the end of this very long stairwell.
Yes.
It's been going on for a very long time.
I never realized how long this hallway was. Actually,
It goes at it's a hallway that moves at the distance of plot.
Oh God, we're doomed. We'll never get out.
It's like a cartoon.
Stop talking so we can reach the end.
It's like a cartoon. We just have the same background going.
When you
I have
pass
seen that same painting pass by us 5 times.
It's a hallway that goes through the forest of convenience, and you bump into everyone else.
Mhm.
All right. So, bottom of the stairs.
Oh yeah, you guys get there, get there and bump into everyone else. Yeah.
All jokes aside, do we make it to the bottom?
Oh God, yes.
Okay.
No, roll. Give me an athletics roll for making it to the bottom of the steps. I think I need.
I mean, you got to see if you drop the cups and the glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, you failed. Everyone just goes falling down the
terrible.
steps there.
You were an Olympic athlete. Who knew? Not a glass broken. Amazing.
Yeah.
So crashing noise outside, like everyone just threw themselves down the stairs. That was weird, right?
Mrs. Featherston will busy herself with, she'll put down the liquor, and then she'll take the tray and she'll put the tray down, and she starts pouring out glasses very perfectly because, of course, she's a hostess. She's a woman of means. And she'll offer the first one to Fitz, and then just sort of offer the rest around the room.
Okay.
It's you guys' cue to talk to each other. Like, oh my God, there's a man with an arm torn off.
Yeah. Like,
I thought his arm grew back or reattached or didn't.
Did it reattach?
yeah.
He didn't tear it off. It was mangled, but by the time his transformation had ended, his arm was pretty much healed, and as was his knee.
I take it this is the reason why we have a hole in the wall now?
Yes, we do. I'm not ashamed to say that these creatures scare me a lot.
Yes.
And
you might want to show a little bit of shame. No, I'm just kidding.
We have news. We actually.
As do we.
Fitz, you want to take this one?
No, by all means, you go right on ahead.
So,
I think my spleen is ruptured.
Why don't I look at them for you?
You should examine him while we're talking. So we paid a visit to the house of what's his name? McNamara?
Yes.
Of Mr. Harold McNamara. It's currently being cared for by his staff. They're awaiting the return of his son, who is currently in the United States. Prior to our arriving there, both Scotland Yard and 2 extraordinarily persistent constables, I'm sure you can imagine who they are, Mr. Jackson and what the heck are they?
Jackson.
Yes, Jackson and Alexander. There it is. They also paid a visit before us. Apparently, Scotland Yard did a fairly cursory examination and left. The 2 constables, however, came in and essentially tossed everything about in the man's private office before absconding with several journals. So when we got there, we had to kind of make do with what remained. It turns out that the butler was quite helpful in that he described an individual. He noticed that Harold McNamara had been very nervous about a week prior to his death. and he had a rather terse conversation with a gentleman who had paid him a visit. The butler overheard, and I look at what I wrote. You can't hide it from me forever. I will find it over your dead body if I have to. Mr. McNamara had Mr. McNamara had a very nice ring that sounds like the one that we currently have in custody. He brought that back from Africa. The description of the man, let's see, blocky, squarish face, square chin, brown hair, must, unsettling gray eyes.
Which, for you, Mrs. President, matches the description of George Chestnut.
And let's see. So in Fitz, as we were searching through for journals,
Remember, I already had it.
Right, exactly. It was mentioned that Mr. McNamara frequented a certain opium den, which seemed odd and strangely coincidental. And when we started looking through the journals, we found a journal with several pages missing. We were made aware that he had apparently left something at the opium den. And this is when Mr. Fitz suddenly remembers that he had acquired something from that place that he visited for some reason. he has not yet elaborated on that. I believe there is a story there. Several pages that were in a journal that had several pages missing that details about the ring, where it came from, what he thinks it's used for, the information on the markings. Yep, that's pretty much it. That's what we found.
We apparently traveled to October of 1880.
I'm sorry, but what?
We traveled to October 1880 and met a man, and I give the exact description he did. Just that. 3 months, 4 months.
Well, I mean, yes, I'm just making sure. Okay, you went to the future.
Yes.
Okay, why should that be any stranger than anything else that's actually happened? Never mind.
And we met this man you described. His name is Mr. Chestnut.
Ah.
He told us he was the ruler of England. And he had destroyed Torchwood and all of its employees.
Just because I'm quite surprised of our appearance.
We did manage to escape, but he did send the queen after us. After she's been injected with the monster mix, as it is.
How does he control them?
Monster Man.
The monster? Did you monster? That's very pithy. How did you get to the future?
Through the portal in the carriage.
Oh, using this device to pinpoint it.
There's a portal.
Apparently we didn't shield ourselves properly, and that was the reason for the time jump.
Oh. So. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fiddling on stuff while I'm talking.
I take another drink. I sip it thoughtfully. I'm not. I really want this drink to last.
He was able to analyze my equipment that I brought and actually figure it out. So he does have some kind of a.
How long were you in October?
10 minutes tops.
Yeah. A brief time, yeah.
I see.
We thought it wise to escape when he decided to try to execute us.
Now, according to Dr. Cornwallis, Mr. Chestnut either lives in the future and travels to the past to interact with us, or he may just travel laterally through London without actually traveling in time.
Correct. I think he mentioned my not having the shielding caused the time change. So I suspect that it's just more translocation versus time. But again, these are just hypotheses. So he very well could be able to control space and time. Which I find fascinating. Definitely going to have to be some study.
I'm sorry. I'm just wondering.
Yes.
So if he's from the future, isn't it quite possible that he could simply go further back into the past to disrupt what we're doing now if it didn't work when he disrupted it earlier? If that makes sense.
I don't know. Oh, good.
I believe that does make sense. I'm beginning to perceive time differently.
So snappy.
Kind of timey-wimey.
Yeah.
Well, if he does in fact control time, then that is a possibility. I'm sure in all the theories that are going around in the academic circles say that you can't really cross over your same timeline, but really it's hypothetical, so anything's possible. Sure.
There are theories about this, and she looks to Dr. Hale.
No, I'm like, what?
As far as I can tell, yes, but I mean, I don't come across that in my field very often. It's extremely rare, actually.
I'm a medical doctor.
Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a temporal physicist.
But now that you mention
Was it
Back to Dr. Not one of you doctors.
Not the doctor.
I love how she looked to Dr. Hale because Dr. Hale is sane. So she's like, all right, I've been talking to crazy for like the last several minutes, and I really just need,
I just need to check in.
I need to ground out, you know?
I'm totally sane.
Well, that needs to be seen. I mean, you know.
Look, lady.
Doctor.
Doctor lady.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And I, although I feel this is somewhat unnecessary at this point of the conversation, I've determined that our missing constables are not in fact missing, that they were in fact, in all probability, lured away by the promise of a great sum of money to be planted in Croydon specifically for this case.
Okay.
Candy in this carriage.
So I guess the question is, well, I mean, obviously we have to stop him, and now that he knows that we know who he is, he's going to actively be trying to stop that.
Well, I mean, if he doesn't actually have control over time, then he doesn't yet know about us. Because that would be in October. So we have 3 months to resolve that.
He's able to come back in time when he just inform himself or assume himself or something.
Well, I mean, that is a possibility, yes, but
I mean, I'd simply toss a letter back going, hey, it's me. Stop these people.
It sounds as though that was already part of his plan.
Right. So
Which means we've clearly touched a nerve already.
it's going to get desperate and dangerous. If he's seeking the crown, he's going to do whatever is necessary. Okay. How should this little siege operation go?
Lieutenant?
Well,
Did you get the location of where he was?
no, we're only there briefly, and we're only in the inside.
Wait, there was a place that was mentioned. It was
It's a bit run down.
Morganville?
I think that's where Oberon is.
No, that's
Yeah,
where
that's where Oberon Crest was in the last scene.
then that's a good question. Where we know when you were. Do you know where you were?
Well, Mrs. Featherstone did mention that he did interview for Torchwood.
At that time, I was sadly unaware of his, what did you call it, Dr. Cornwallis? Translocation ability?
Yes.
I was not impressed with his personality, but I certainly did not believe him capable of taking over the entirety of the civilized world.
But did he leave
Contact
a
information?
resume? Did he have his address?
Yeah, a CV, I think they call it. Yeah.
I will certainly get his file. We shall see if it's of any help.
If he is working with whoever's creating these tonics, if they do have the suggestive qualities that Dr. Hale has discovered, then that could be his method of controlling people.
And that was my next question: is how does he control these monsters?
I look over to the.
Oh, we need to wake that gentleman up and ask him some questions.
No, I look over to the
Corner?
the corner. You good sir? Do you know Mr. Chestnut?
Nah, doesn't sound familiar.
He's sitting here going, these people are insane.
He's sitting there in his cage still.
Well, it seems like his crimes are more crimes of passion rather than a plan. So,
If Dr. Hale is still busy, I'll just go over and get some smelling salts, and this much I can do.
Patching up bits.
Does she get to try to heal Fitz's spleen?
Yeah. Probably should do that.
basically,
Because it's leaking.
Your liver's kind of sticking out there. I want to tuck that back in.
MST3K.
Check engine light. What's that about?
some
Ingenuity.
Bactine I could put on it.
You're gonna give me an ingenuity and medicine roll there, Dr. Hale.
Oh no.
19.
Wow, 19.
His spleen will grow back.
Just tuck that.
Luckily, livers sometimes.
It's like Dr. McCoy in Star Trek 4 giving that dialysis patient a pill, and she just grows back new kidneys and a new liver right out the bat.
Doctor gave me a pill and I grew new kidneys.
The new liver. Let me swap that. They found a new liver after you got your carriage all pimped out.
Well,
laying there.
LA won't be using his from now on.
I just put that bad boy in.
We're just doing
For 2
check
hours
his.
without any refrigeration. I don't have to work very
So
long.
yeah, that fantastic roll will allow you to heal all of your damage there. Bits. be sore for a bit, but in terms of ability score, penalties, you're clear of that.
Bob,
Sorry,
You have a new sling.
I think he's sleepy.
I am. Sorry.
It's getting late.
It's getting late. It's a pretty good place to
I
call it there. To get ready to win.
apologize.
Nah, it's all good. We ran a little longer than we might usually do, but it's a good place to stop as we get ready to wake up the monster who attacked.
Okay.
Should we also? I guess we'll have to send word to the queen that she is in imminent danger. Stay away from this individual.
God save the queen. We mean it.
Yes, will be
Sex Pistols for you.
kidnapped and transformed into a monster within 3 months.